2016, October the 3rd, Living with Joy. Chapter 4, The Art of Self-Love. Before beginning the chapters, I would like to review last week's events. First of all, I think the most influential event and also a very devastating one is the September 30th events that originally I set up in acrylic painting class or workshop. However, one of the people that signed up for going actually said that his company has some issues or meetings, so that he would not be able to attend. And the other person actually used to be my friend, but I doubt it right now, so I really would not like to contact her, but my just let you later. And so I saw that the things I've done is totally a mess and a failure, and that actually helped me to recall what has been done previously when I host an event, that I look for attracting more people and use it as a way of attracting money, as I've read that book before. I literally read it, and record it from the first page to the last one. And I think there's still something that I didn't work out very well. So that event served as a signifier that something is not that right. And for all, I just constantly feel that I've been chased after promises and also procrastination, something I need to do but didn't really do well. And especially right now, I should actually compile my information together, but it just didn't work out very well, because at some time I'm thinking of supplying more materials to my website as for my company, and also thinking of applying for graduate school. And at the same time, in November, I have signed up for an exam for like bookkeeper, but I didn't really read a page of it. I just have a vague idea of what should I prepare. And all those things together, I feel like I'll have to arrange my times accordingly to make at least my life orderly. Otherwise, it looks like a constantly mess, at least from this moment. And these judgments are not coming from nowhere. It is a constant crippling thought in my mind that I didn't really make a very good use of my time at this moment. And as I read through the conversation with God, chapter 1, that instead of hoping for something, it is more effective to express gratitude in advance. And throughout the trilogy of soul feeling experience, that I will come closer to what I really want. And that's begin with the chapter 4, The Art of Self-Love, how to really love oneself. There are many ways you can love yourself, and everything that happens to you is an opportunity to have a loving experience. Seeing in the right perspective, anything can provide you with an occasion to love yourself. When things seems to be going against you, they are only happening to show you blocks to your usable power. I'm I'm sure if I ask you to make a list of loving things to do for yourself, you'll be able to think of many. Yeah, many times you focus on all the ways you are not carrying out those things and a battle begins. This inner war can be draining and making yourself wrong. It's not a right use of energy. So loving yourself means accepting yourself as you are right now. There are no exceptions to the contract, which is an agreement with yourself to appreciate, validate, accept, and support who you are at this moment. It means living in present time. Many of you look back to the past with regret, thinking of how you could have handled the situation in a higher way. Imagine if only you had done this or that, things would have worked out better. Some of you look into the future to make who you are right now inadequate. The past can assist you if you remember the times in which you succeeded, creating positive memories. The future can be your friend if you see that in picturing it, you are creating a vision of the next step. Do not make yourself wrong because you have not yet achieved your vision. It is important to love who you are now without reservation. Loving yourself is beyond attachment and detachment. You exist in physical bodies, and each one of you has a focus that you call the I. You have been given the I so you can separate from a greater whole, experience a particular part of beingness. Everything you have experienced up until now is what you were born to learn. Whether you label it good or bad, it is what comprises your being, your uniqueness and purpose. If you could see yourself from my perspective, you would view yourself as a crystal with many facets. Each of you is completely different, a unique combination of energy. Each of you is beautiful, special, and one of a kind, and is as is each crystal. You reflect light in a unique way. Thus your aura varies from those around you. If you could appreciate your uniqueness, see that the path you have chosen is different from anyone else. It will be easier to detach from the views of others and follow your own guidance. One of the ways to love yourself more is to stop comparing yourself to others. Although you are part of a whole, you are also an individual self with your own path. The group and family belief system you have taken on as your own can be obstacles to your self-love. Everybody say it's good to meditate, you may hear some people say, and so you feel bad if you do not do so. The challenge of loving yourself is to step aside from everything people tell you and ask, does this fit me? Does this bring me joy? Do I feel good when I do it? Ultimately, your own experience is what counts. There is a temptation to make another person or something like a book in authority and to put aside of yourself the ability to decide what is good for you. Being with teachers offers much benefits, but only so that eventually you can learn to bring in and follow your own guidance. I exist to open doors for you. I do not wish to take your power, but to give it to you. When you are with teachers or any person you have met in authority in your life, even if it's just a friend, questions and listen carefully to what he or she is saying. You may accept his or her statements as truth, and yet it is important to question that not this person says is true just for him or her, or if it is true for you also. Loving yourself means stepping outside of guilt. There is tremendous guilt in your society. Many connections between peoples come from the solar plexus, the power center, from which people try to persuade, convince, control, and manipulate each other. Loving yourself means stepping outside of this kind of relationship. To do so, you will need to let go of guilt. If you do not play the same ball games as those around you, You may find they feel threatened. They want you to think and act in a certain way to fit their pictures, so they try to gain power over you through guilt. Often parents know no other way to be in control. They use guilt, anger, and withdrawal of love to dominate their children. When you feel strong and in charge of your life, you can come from the heart. When you feel lacking in control, you may feel you must manipulate or engage in power struggle to get what you want. You may think you have to make excuses for your behaviors or tell white lies to protect other people's feelings. When you act this way, you are not loving yourself. Instead, you give your subconscious the message that who you are is not enough or acceptance to other people. If you wish to be free, it is important not to manipulate other people either, but to give them their freedom. At first, you may feel as if you have lost measures of control if you turn over to other people the right to do as they please with their lives. It will create between you a completely new levels of honesty and love that cannot occur without your courage and willingness to release control. You can learn to detach from the reactions of others and from your own emotions if they take you out of a calm, clear centers. Loving yourself means asserting yourself with compassion. When you are willing to show others who you are, you open the doors for them to expose their real selves too. Judgment stands as an obstacle to self-love. Every time you judge, you separate. When you form opinions about another person, looking at him or her and saying, for instance, this person is lazy or a failure or has terrible clothes, you send a message to your subconscious that the world is a place where you had better act in a certain way if you want to be accepted. By rejecting other people through your judgment, you inform your own subconscious that you are only going to accept yourself under certain conditions. This leads to an inner dialogue of self-criticism. It can also attract many negative images from the outer world. For once you send out these pictures, you create a pathway for them to come back. Look at the messages you put out to other people. Do you accept them lovingly without criticizing or putting them down? Do you smile at them? Are you friendly? Do you allow them to feel good about themselves, or do you walk away without acknowledging them? If you accept them, even just telepathically, that is, in your own mind, you assist them in finding their higher selves. You will find other people accepting you more lovely also. Your beliefs about reality create your experience of it. This dynamic can happen in subtle ways. If you think people do not accept you as you are, and that you must try hard to please them, then you will draw those kinds of people into your life. You may find that you end up seeing people at the same time they are tired and do not have anything to give. Whatever you believe to be true about friends or any person in your life, you will create that experience of them. If you say and believe this man or woman is warm and friendly toward me, you will create that in a relationship. To move into a higher sense of self-love, start identifying what you consider to be facts about the ways the world works. If you think that the world is cold and uncaring, or that you must try hard for everything you achieve, then that conviction stands between you and self-love. A belief is what you consider to be a truth about realities. You may say, it is a fact that if I smile at people, they smile back, but this can be a reality for you and not for other people. Instead, because of this belief, you may choose subconsciously to smile only at people who will smile back. If you believe that people never smile back at you, then you will automatically pick people to smile at who never returned it. If you want to experience a world that is caring and supports your images of self-love, look at what you are saying about the world to yourself. You can change your encounters with people and the world by altering what you expect. It has been said, the world may not be just, but it is exact. This means that what you get is precisely what you expect and believe you will get. If you are in a profession you know it's hard to make money in and you say, not many people make money in my field, you will create that as a fact for yourself. You are holding a certain view of reality and that will be your experience, not only of your career but also of others you meet in that field. All you need to do is alter what you expect to happen and you will experience a different world. Another quality of self-love is forgiveness. Some of you hang on to old issues, feeling anger over and over. It's irritation at you, perhaps, or at another who let you down. The higher self knows only forgiveness. If there is anything you are hanging on to, anger, hurts, or negative feelings about another, then you are keeping it in your aura. The person you are mad at is affected, but not as much as you will be. Any energy or feeling you carry toward that person sits in your aura and acts as a magnet for more of the same. There is most definitely a reason for forgiveness, for it clings and heals you and changes for the better the circumstances you draw to yourself. Self-love also involves humility, which is self-expression from the heart and not from the ego. Humility says I'm open, I'm willing to listen, and I may not have all the answers. Humility is one of the qualities that will allow you to receive more, for humility implies openness. It does not imply a lack of self-confidence, but a great amount of faith and trust in yourself. Only those who feel good about who they are can express humility. Those who act the most arrogant and coldly confident are those who lack the very characteristic they are trained to project. People who love themselves come across as very loving, generous, and kind. They express their self-confidence through humility, forgiveness, and inclusiveness. If you know people who seem to be very wise and yet put others down, reject friends, and make people feel bad about themselves, no matter how high their words or what they teach, you can rest assured that they do not love themselves. Loving yourself involves faith and trust and belief in who you are, and a willingness to act upon your trust in yourself. It is not enough to feel that faith and trust. You need to experience it in your outer world. You are a physical being, and joy comes from seeing around you those things that express your inner beauty. A garden, flowers, trees, your house, the ocean. All of these are the rewards of acting upon and trusting in yourself, of following your path and vision with action. The ultimate challenge of self-love is to act upon it, to speak out to people and to create in the world your heaven on earth. It is not enough just to give and radiate love. Loving yourself comes from receiving love also. If you are giving love to people but they cannot receive it, then it has no place to go. You do everyone a great service by being willing to receive his or her love. One of the greatest gifts you can give others is opening to their love for you. In any male-female relationships or between two men or two women, the relationship will succeed to the degree to which each can receive the other's love. If you are giving 100%, if the other person is receiving only 50%, then what you give to the other is reduced by half. If what the other gives back is only 50%, and if you can only receive 50% of that, then what you get back is 25%, and so on. The result is that you can experience less and less love from each other. To experience greater love in your life, be willing to receive gifts from others, offering of love, friendship, and support. If you want to bring your higher self into your life on a daily basis and increase your self-love, take one characteristic of the soul and whatever you have a moment, think about it. Some of these are peace, appreciation, humility, harmony, joy, gratefulness, abundance, freedom, serenity, strength, integrity, respect, dignity, compassion, forgiveness, will, light, creativity, grace, wisdom, and love. By reflecting or meditating on these qualities, you will begin to demonstrate them in your life. Whatever you think of, you are. If every day you pick one of the qualities of your higher self to ponder on and identify with, you will create it as an experience of yourself. Self-love involves respecting yourself and living in higher purpose. When you value yourself, your time, love, and vision, so will others. Before you see your friends, ask yourself, what is the highest purpose you can create together? Have you ever stayed at someone's house while really wanting to leave, but you hesitate, not wanting to hurt his or her feelings? If so, you will value that person more than yourself. You are giving him or her the telepathic message that he or she does not have to respect you or your time. And it should be no surprise if this person took you for granted after a while. Whenever you value and respect yourself, speaking with truth about who you are and talking appropriately actions, you not only evolve yourself, but you assist others by your example. The inability to say no to people reflects a worldview that says other people's feelings are more important than yours, that their rights are more significant, and that you should not consider their feelings first. When you do this, you create energy blockage within yourself, baking up resentments, angers, and hurts which then sit in your aura and attract more of the same. Self-love comes from the heart and can express as gentleness and unconditional love. Some people think self-love means acting powerful and using their powers and personal will in an aggressive way that denies the rights of others. You have seen people who get their way and who do not care about their effects on others. You call them ruthless or inconsiderate. Often in a similar way, you can be aggressive with yourself, one part of yourself dominating and controlling the other parts. Sometimes the person will act as if you were an enemy, trying to force, direct, or make you do certain things. It can feel like a parent standing over you. To make matters worse, you may think that the things it is trying to force you to do are for your highest good. For instance, you may constantly berate yourself for not being more organized, or for putting off something you feel you should start or finish. You may make huge lists of things to do and then feel bad if you do not get them done. This is making the personality right and your other self wrong. The self that is resisting the direction of your personal will. In this case, you are using your personal will against yourself. Your higher self may have created a resistance to keep you from doing certain things, and is directing you to other paths and possibilities that hold more joy. If you use your personal will in conjunction with the heart to help you in following a path you love, your personal will can assist you to create and increase your self-love. The personnel's will can be directors of focus. When you link it with what you love, there is no end to what is possible or to the boundaries you can transcend. Have you ever noticed that when you love to do something, say your favorite hobbies, you can work for hours on end and can easily say no to distractions? The personnel will is a force like a river. You can either flow with it or swim against it. You can use it either to draw you toward your higher path or to constantly punish yourself for apparent transgressions. Which system motivates you? Is your personal will help you increase your self-love by focusing you on your path and higher purpose and creating the intense motivation for action? Last but not least, do not take yourself so seriously. Let them play. It's not the end of the world if something does not go right. The quality of humor is perhaps one of the greatest doorways to self-love. The ability to laugh, to smile at others, and put your problems into perspective is an evolved skill. Those who come from a higher level of self-love are often humorous, have a great wit, and love to bring out the childlike playfulness in others. They are willing to be spontaneous, often find reason to smile, and are able to make others feel at ease and to be happy themselves. As you observe the people in your life, ask yourself and do it without judgment. Do these people love themselves? If you are experiencing difficulty with Islam, look at a problem area and ask, do they love themselves in this area? Send them compassion to use in whatever ways creates their highest good, and enjoy the love you have just sent out as it comes back to you, to use for your highest good. Play sheet. Number 1. How would you know if you were acting or thinking in a way that is loving to yourself? Number 2. How would today or tomorrow look if everything you did was an act of self-love? Number 3. What would your actions look like if you were loving to yourself in the following area: your physical body, your intimate relationship, your job or career? Number 4. What would you do today or tomorrow to be more loving to yourself in your relationships, in your job, and with your physical body? Think of 3 specific actions you would take for each of these 3 areas. Daily joy practice. The art of self-love. Sense your energy for a moment, allowing yourself to come into the centers of your being, open to experience the deeper parts of your being, your innermost self, whose nature is pure, unconditional love. This self, your soul, loves you, understands you, and is always working for your higher good. Ask your soul to increase the love you are capable of receiving. Allow that the love that is within the core of your being to become more visible and shine forth, increasing your ability to love yourself. As you think of the day ahead, picture feeling more of the love that is within you and finding new ways to express it. Something within you is growing stronger, wiser, and more loving as you open to the unlimited love within you. As you go about your day, imagine that your innermost self is bringing you all the opportunities you need to love, nurture, and honor yourself, and do so. Practice loving yourself today with your thoughts and with your words. Make yourself right rather than wrong. Forgive yourself, knowing that you are always doing the best you know how. Make yourself the authorities of what is good for you. Feel the joy that comes from honoring who you are. At night, reflect on how the day felt and what changed as you open to a new level of self-love.